Hey y'all. This is my first time going live on my phone. I have been trying to set this up for the longest, but I wanted to talk to y'all today about narcissism and marriage and really the recovery. Like if you were married to a narcissist, I tell people all the time, and I mean this, more than likely you were getting cheated on. There was some type of abuse, like mental, emotional, physical, some type of something that was going on in your marriage. And I always tell people, you need time to deal with that whenever you come out of a marriage. Like, you need a marriage with that type of person, because my ex-husband cheated so much that it took me like 2 years to recover, just to get out of the web he had me in with all these women. It took me years to get my mind right, because he made me think I was crazy for so long. I thought I was crazy. Like, I would literally catch him doing something and he would make me think that I didn't see what I just saw. Like, that's how bad it was. I turned into a private investigator. Like, somebody could tell me something, I don't care what it was. I have to, because I was so used to investigating everything he did, because he always lied. He was a compulsive liar. Most narcissists are full of pride. Narcissism is just another way of saying pride, of being prideful. And he would lie about everything. Like, he lied about so much that it took me years to even believe somebody when anybody said anything, because if he told me something, if he told me it was raining, I would literally I had to look outside and see. Like, I didn't believe anything, because he lied so much. And he would lie with a straight face. He would lie and make you think that you could have, y'all, I'm telling y'all, it was a mess. Like, it was a mess. It was messing my mind. My mind was so warped in that marriage. My mind was so warped. I thought that I was going crazy. Like, man, I thought I was going crazy multiple times. And when I encourage people, I'm like, when you come out of a relationship with somebody that don't care about lying, when you come out of a relationship with somebody that don't care about nobody but they self, most narcissists are selfish. They don't care about how you feel. They don't care about what they do to you. They don't care if it hurts you. They do not care. The only thing they care about are themselves. They don't care about you. And most narcissists are going to move on in the relationship. My ex-husband had a whole girlfriend in the relationship. So his process of healing was totally different from my process of healing. He healed through another woman. His moving on was jumping in another woman's underwear. That was his moving on. So me, I took what people might consider the long route. I considered it, I felt like it was the long route, because I didn't just jump in a relationship with somebody when I got out of my marriage. I really needed to heal. I thought that man almost made me think I was crazy. I was ready. I was ready to check myself into a mental institution, y'all. It was times I would call around to the like the mental institutions where you check yourself in. I would call around just to see how, can I get in there? I would look all the time. I would go online trying to figure out ones that was in the area, because I literally wanted to check myself into a mental institution. That man drove me up the wall. He made me almost lose my mind. And they don't care about you. They don't care how you feel. They don't care how it affects you. They don't. They don't. That little jail right there is really bothering me. But they don't. They like it ain't there. So I just want to encourage you, like, you are not alone. Whenever you get out of a relationship with a narcissist, baby, people be like, oh, well, you get on another man and get over another one. Not one of them. You have to get your mind together. You be fighting for your whole mind being in a relationship with a narcissist. They will gaslight you. I'm telling you, I would catch this man doing something and he would convince me that I didn't see what I had just saw. And I'd be sitting there questioning myself, well, maybe you didn't see that. Maybe you didn't read that text right. Well, maybe it's not this, or maybe it's not that. The whole time you know he lying. You know it. But you love somebody so much, and they are manipulators. Do you understand me? He was the biggest manipulator that I've ever came into contact with. Will manipulate you and make you think you did something wrong. He'll do stuff, and by the end of it, I think I blame myself. I carry so much weight from him cheating. I used to think it was my fault. For years, I was in a state of depression, y'all. I would sit on the couch for hours and watch Judge Mathis and the first 48 for days. I didn't want to get off the couch unless I had an appointment or take my kids to school. That's it. I would sit on that couch for days. Like, I was so depressed. I was like depressed. Like, man, that's why I tell people, you gotta marry the right person. Like, marriages go through stuff, but it's people that have been through things and stayed together. There's people that I marry young, but that doesn't mean anything. There's a lot of people that marry young and are still together, because you got to know who you are with. That person got to have the mind that you are in a relationship, a marriage. This is not just boyfriend and girlfriend. And he had that mindset, and he told me that. He said, well, I always felt like you can go find somebody else and I'll find somebody else. We'll be okay if we ain't together. He told me that. He was like, he never cared he never cared that it was a marriage. He always felt like, all right, we break up, she can go find somebody, I can go find somebody. That's the type of relationship I was in, y'all. That's the type of marriage I was in. I was in a marriage with somebody that did not understand covenant. I was in a marriage with somebody that did not understand the value in marriage. That he didn't care nothing about that. All he cared about was what was going to fulfill him. He didn't care how it affected me and my 3 boys. Our 3 boys. He didn't care about that. He cared. Well, I'm going to say this. I had a son before we got married, and we had 2 together. So he didn't care how it affected our family. Only thing he cared about was himself and the women that he was with. And whenever he would get with a woman, that woman was his everything. He didn't care about nobody. He didn't care about me. He didn't care about nobody. That when he got with that woman, whoever the woman was, because it was multiple women, that was his focus. It was not me. He didn't care how I felt. He didn't care how the kids felt. He didn't care about nobody but himself. And now, and it wasn't until I got divorced that I started really understanding narcissism, because I would look over stuff. I was like, dang, this is exactly what I used to go through with him. And I didn't even understand narcissism. I didn't understand it until I got out of my marriage. Like, dang, okay, this is why it's taking me so long to heal, because my mind was so warped. My mind was so confused. I did not trust nobody. When I came out that marriage, I was so mad at God. I was mad at God. I was like, God, how you gonna let him do me like that? You know, I was mad at God, because those type of relationships isolate you from everybody. Like, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, you be sitting up there thinking it's crazy. And for years, I thought I was crazy. For years, I thought everything was my fault. For years, I just felt like the bad person, and I just didn't really know what to do. I didn't feel like I had any help. I didn't feel like nobody understood me. So it's like when I get on here and I do these videos and shorts and encouragements, because I want you women to understand. I understand what you're going through. I know how it feels. So for somebody to sit in your face and lie and don't care how you feel, don't care how it affects you, they don't care nothing about what's going on. Only thing they care about is themselves. I know how it feels. I know how it feels to be cheated on by a man that you love, and not only do he kick you to the ground, he spit on you when you down there. And this is not physically, but you know, that's what I went through. I went through a very, very, very tough marriage. The divorce was easy. We didn't have any separation thing, any problems with like dividing property or anything. We didn't have those issues. The marriage was the hardest thing for me, and getting over and after the divorce, because I had to heal from this. I was so locked into this mindset of I got to investigate everything. So if I met a guy and he could if I just met a guy, I'm going total background. I need to know your background. I'm all on the webs on Google trying to search his family members out because I did not trust. I did not know how to trust. I didn't trust nobody. Nobody. I don't care who you was. You said something to me, I wasn't finna believe you because of what I had already been through for so long. Somebody that devalued me so long. Like I was devalued so long. I was treated like the bottom of the barrel for so long by somebody that I didn't even value myself. I didn't even think I was good enough for anybody. I stopped encouraging people when I got through my divorce, went through my divorce. I stopped encouraging people. That divorce literally shut me up because so much pain was associated with it. So I understand when women talk about how they almost lost their mind, and some women jump into relationships after they go through a marriage with a narcissist because I didn't have any love in my marriage. I didn't have any love. I wanted to be held. I wanted to be treated a certain type of way. I wanted to be loved, and I didn't know what that felt like. So when I got out of my marriage, I was seeking that. I didn't have relationships, but I did go out and mess with people because I wanted to just feel I was vulnerable and I just wanted that embrace. I didn't necessarily want to be with them. I just wanted somebody to hold me. I just wanted to feel important because even before I got divorced, he had already been cheating about 2 years before that. And before that, and maybe he was faithful for maybe a year, maybe. And then before that, he was cheating. So I just wanted affection. I just wanted somebody to love me because I didn't have that. Even in my marriage, I didn't have that. So, and narcissists, most of them already had really bad backgrounds. I can guarantee you, if most narcissists had a bad relationship with their mother or father, they come from a background of turmoil. They come from, and then hurt, like they say, hurt people. Like they come from a background of confusion, and they bring that to other people, and they will blame you. Like I'm telling y'all, to this day, my ex-husband has called me multiple times and apologized for what he did to me. But if we were having a regular conversation on a regular day, everything was my fault. Well, you treated me this way. Well, you made me feel uncomfortable. Well, you did this to me. You did that to me. But then on other days when I guess in his right mind or something, it'll be like, you didn't deserve that. I apologize. I'm living with what I did. You didn't deserve that. I didn't have to do that. And then they'll switch on you. In the next conversation, well, you shouldn't have did this to me, or you did that to me, or this and this and that. Well, that's what I had to deal with. Like, that's what I literally had to deal with for 8 years. And I was so grateful. My marriage ended on the same day, 8 years later than I got on my anniversary. 8 years later, I was like, in my mind, it was prophetic. I don't know why, because I felt like 8 was, what does 8 mean? I forgot what it means. Like new beginnings. And I just felt like it was my new beginning, even though it was tough coming out of it. It didn't feel like no new beginning. It felt like hell for the first couple of years. I know for a fact because I was in that emotional roller coaster. I wanted to go back. I was so trapped in my mind that I couldn't trust people. I felt like I needed to be in a place of always in fight or flight mode. So I didn't feel comfortable not being afraid. Like it was weird for me to go to bed at night knowing nobody wasn't cheating on me, because I was so used to somebody cheating on me. So I felt weird, but I was like, dang, this really feel good. But I didn't know how to deal with it because I was so used to fighting for somebody love and attention for so long. So, well, that's it, y'all. I wanted to get on and encourage y'all. I got to take my baby to practice. I'm going to start doing more lives. And I just want to say thank y'all for watching my shorts. I really appreciate it. And thank y'all for watching the replay. And I look forward to talking to y'all more. I appreciate y'all, and I'm here to encourage y'all. Like I tell people all the time, I literally went through that marriage and divorce by myself. Of course, God was there, but physically I was by myself. I did not understand why I was by myself. Now I understand, because God chose me to help other people, and nobody really could come in and help me no way. Like what were they going to say? Most people come in. I remember some church folks, a church that I was going to, they didn't even care what I was going through. Don't leave your husband, because most of them had been cheated on their whole marriage, and he didn't start settling down, and the husband ain't started doing them right until he was older, 40, 50 something years old. So in their mind, they didn't even know what it feels like to have a good marriage and was trying to counsel somebody else. So I was in those type of situations. And of course, that's not all churches, but the churches that I went to, they didn't care nothing about that. You stay right there. They didn't care that I was suffering in a relationship with a man who was emotionally abusing me and mentally abusing me, out with different multiple women. They didn't care about that. In their mind, you just stay in there and fight for your marriage. Why? Why did I have to stay and fight for my marriage when my husband wasn't fighting for my marriage? He wasn't fighting for it. So I was literally pregnant, trying to fight for a marriage and about to lose my mind and baby. Because all this turmoil and confusion and stress that this man was putting me through. They didn't target him and say, you need to go home and be a husband to your family. It was me. It was me. You need to do this and that and just fight for your husband. No. And when I think about it now, in the past, I told people, and I stand on it, I stayed in my marriage 7 years too long. The first year I should have been out. I never should have been married to him in the first place. But after, I say the first 2 years, I stayed in that marriage 6 years too long. I'll say 6. And because because the people that I had that was supposed to be on my side and give me godly wisdom didn't have no godly wisdom. They didn't even know. They was fighting for their own minds. So in their mind, in their life, they was comparing my situation to theirs. Oh, just stay. He'll be all right. He gonna, like it's a phase or something. People ain't supposed to be cheating on their wives. Like, this ain't normal. But in my mind, I'm thinking it's normal. I'm thinking it's normal to be cheated on. I'm thinking it's normal for a man to walk away from his family. And he'll settle down. He'll get it together. It's normal. No, it's not. Now I understand that it's not. But back then, I ain't understand it. And some of y'all going through it too. Church people telling you, no, it's a way to fight for your marriage. If you go to God, fast and pray, I'm not telling you not to do that. But sometimes we literally pick the wrong person. And we always say, well, God has put together that no man put asunder. Some relationships God did not put together. I know y'all can see that now. When you got same-sex marriages and all that, God did not put no same-sex marriages together. I'm sorry, he didn't. So, and that goes both ways for opposite sex. God does not put every marriage together. He don't. He really don't. Sometimes God's hand is not in every marriage because God does hate divorce. And I believe it's because of everything that happens after you get a divorce. The kids are affected, your emotions, all these different type of things. And God don't want us to go through that. That's why we supposed to marry the right person. But a lot of us fall in love. We sex get involved, emotions get involved, and we don't think right. We get all these things popping off, and we start to not think right. That's why it's very pivotal to really not have sex before you get married. I know it's hard, because sometimes you can have sex with somebody and they don't even be the right person for you, but the sex be so good you want to stay. You be thinking that's the right person, and you know I ain't lying. It be good. I ain't trying to say, I'm not saying like, but I just want to get on and encourage y'all. And y'all just have a blessed day. And I'll talk to y'all soon.